One of the most dissatisfying conversations that takes place between an attorney and a client usually takes place up front in the attorney-client relationship. It usually happens somewhere around the first or second meeting when the client asks the inevitable question of how much is this going to cost me? To which then the attorney says, well, I don't know, it depends. At that point, the client can be very dissatisfied and scared about what actually they're getting into. Here they are coming to the attorney with this need that is of great significance to them, and then they're also being told at the same time, I don't know how much this is going to cost you to reach a resolution on this. I can tell you from my standpoint as an attorney, it's a dissatisfying conversation to have as well. I don't like telling my client that it depends on what it is that happens in the case as to how much it's going to cost. And yet the traditional billable hour model that most law firms employ of necessity dictates that kind of a response. If you're billing on a time basis, then it just depends on how much time you're going to spend on the case. We don't think that's fair, not to the client, not to the attorney, not to the legal process. Imagine you get on an airplane and you ask the airline, how much is this flight going to cost? And the airline says, well, it depends. And you say, depends on what? And they say, well, it depends on how many stops we have to make and whether or not we have to go on a detour or if there's a delay en route. Any of those things could impact the cost of the flight. We'll tell you when we get to the destination how much it's going to be. No one has that experience flying on an airplane. Why should they have that experience with their attorney? We think that it should be different. We think the clients should have greater transparency as to what the cost should be. And we've developed alternative fee arrangements to the billable hour to help bring that transparency to our clients.